I spent a year building a Jeep, tore it down to the frame, new axles, tires, suspension, new body, hundreds of hours, probably more than I want my wife to hear. And all of it pointing at 1 week, my first Jeep event of the year. And I didn't make it. And by the time that week was over, I had decided fully in my bones that my house hated me, that after everything that I'd done for it, my house was out to get me. Now, as I say that out loud, I realize how insane it really is. My house hated me. A house doesn't have feelings about you. But for about 3 days, I would have passed a polygraph test. I believed it. My house had it out for me, and I was the victim. It was never really about the house, though. And the thing that was actually wrong with me, I think you've got it too. And if you can lose an entire day to one thing that goes wrong and then feel embarrassed that something that small could take you down, I want you to hear 2 things. It's not because you're weak and you're not stuck like this. There's a way to get the day back. So stay with me, because before this is over, I'm going to tell you about the best week that I almost talked myself out of. Like, the Jeep was so close to being ready, but out on the road, I had little problems started showing up as I test drove it. I mean, nothing catastrophic, all fixable. But every little fix took time, and the clock was running, and the event date sat there on the calendar, not moving, not negotiating. And then about 3 days out, my wife says, I don't think the air conditioner's working. Oh, dear. Now, in my house, that's not breaking news. I mean, my air conditioner was installed in 1988. For the last 10 years, my AC repair company has come out on a regular basis to fix one little thing or another, and they keep it limping along. And they remind me every single time that it's about to die. About to die. For 10 years. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. Patch it up. See you next summer. I called him out. And this time, it was different. This time, my AC unit was dead. No resurrection. No 3 days in the tomb where the door swings open and out walks this brand new climate-controlled miracle. Dead is dead. There was actually one way this was going to get fixed, and that was with a brand new unit. Now, I did remember about 7 or so, 10 years maybe back, they gave me a quote. I remember what the number was. I was shocked by it. It was $7,500. And I'm going to let you guess what another 10 years marinating did to that number. Let's say it just roughly doubled. And when I got the news, I had to sit down. So now I'm not working on the Jeep. I'm working the phones. I mean, how do I keep my house cool in nearly 100-degree temperatures? How do I find the money for this? Financing, saving, coins in the couch cushions. I generally had a passing thought of my granddaughter's piggy bank because I think there's a $10 bill or maybe a $20 bill in there she's not even using. And the bottom of the line, the Jeep wasn't ready. The event came, and I wasn't able to go. A year of work, hundreds of hours, 1 week. And I missed it. So here's what I did with all that. I didn't say, well, that's just a tough break. That's life. Nope. I built a case. My house had betrayed me. After everything I'd poured into it, this is the thanks I get. The AC didn't just break. It broke now on purpose to ruin the 1 week that mattered. The universe had read my calendar and circled the date. Look, when I say it like that, I can hear how ridiculous it is. But I'd bet money you've done the exact same thing. Maybe not about a Jeep, but maybe it was a flat tire on the morning of the interview, or a laptop died with the unsaved document, or a kid threw up on the way to the airport. And some quiet voice whispered to you, this is happening to me on purpose, and it's not fair. And here's the thing almost nobody stops to notice. Why is it that a broken air conditioner or flat tire made me feel betrayed? You can only be betrayed by someone you had to deal with, an agreement. You can only feel cheated if you thought you were owed. And underneath my anger at the house was a belief that I never said out loud. I never examined. I never agreed to on paper, but it was absolutely something I was living by. I was supposed to get a smooth week. I had it coming. The road was supposed to be clear. I should have been able to go on that event. Friends, that is the lie. That's the floor beneath the floor. It's not the broken AC that steals your peace. It's the unspoken belief that you were never supposed to have a broken anything. That somewhere there's a version of your life with no flat tires, and every flat that shows up is the world cheating you out of your life. Look, I read about a man named Joseph Toulouskin. And in this story, he got a flat tire and it didn't wreck him. Everybody else on the road that day, a flat tire is a ruined afternoon, a slammed trunk, a few words you have to apologize for later, like fudge. Not him, though. He got the flat and he stayed steady because he'd already made a peace with something the rest of us spend our whole lives fighting. Here's the idea, and it cracked something open in me. Toulouskin said each of us has a flat tire quota. A quota, a set number of flats coming your way over a lifetime. Cars break, plans collapse, air conditioners die at the exact wrong week. Not because you've been singled out, because you're a human being driving down a real road and the road has nails in it. Everybody's road has nails in it. And the flat isn't betrayal, the flat is a toll. It was always part of the trip. Now, I've gotten this far without telling you the thing that actually holds this up for me. And I've done that on purpose because I wanted you to nod at the logic before you knew where I stood. And here's where I stand. I'm a pastor, been one for a long time. And the reason I waited to say it is that the flat tire idea isn't some sunny piece of advice I picked up at a seminar somewhere. It runs straight down into the deepest thing that I believe about how the world actually works. Because the question underneath the broken AC isn't really, why is my stuff breaking? The question is, what did I think I was promised? And who do I think promised it? Now, most of us are walking around furious at some broken contract that nobody ever signed. We believe deep down that a decent life means a smooth one, that if we're good enough, careful enough, faithful enough, the road clears out. Look, the book that I trust says the opposite, and it says it without flinching. Jesus told his friends, and these are the men that he loved, and these are men that are about to give their lives for what they believed. And he told them plainly, here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows. That's John 16:33. Many trials and sorrows, not if, not maybe, will. He's handing them a flat tire quota. He is telling the people closest to him, the road has nails in it. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But that's not the whole verse. And the rest of the verse is the part that helps me understand my flat tires better. The whole thing reads, here on earth you'll have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. That is the floor underneath the floor. Not that you'll never get a flat, but the flats don't get the final word, and you are not driving alone. This is the part the world keeps getting wrong on both ends. One crowd says, just think positive. Just decide it's all fine. The broken AC is secretly a blessing. The missed event is the universe's gift. Smile through it. Friends, that's not faith. That's denial wearing a faith costume. Fog will never lift by you pretending it's not there. And now the other crowd says, yeah, life is meaningless pain. Get used to it. Lower your expectations until nothing can touch you. That also is not wisdom. That is bitterness with just better vocabulary. It's cynicism. And cynicism is just a person who got tired of being disappointed and decided to feel nothing on purpose. That's not helpful. What I'm describing is a third thing. And it's harder than both of them. But it's this. You decide. You decide in advance, before the flat, before the AC breakdown, before the bad phone call, you decide what these things get to cost you. You build what some people would call a philosophy of life and what I just call a settled place to stand. You figure out ahead of time who you are going to be when the road has nails in it. Because if you wait until the flat to decide, the flat decides for you every single time. The man with no philosophy of life takes every hit raw. He's got no shock absorbers. Every pothole goes straight up his spine because he's never once stopped to ask what he actually believes about the hard road. Like, I had no shock absorber that week. I spent a year of preparation on a Jeep and exactly 0 minutes preparing the one thing that was actually going to get tested. Me. So there I am. Jeep's not ready. Event is here. And I've got a choice. 2 roads. And I want you to see them both clearly because you stand at this exact fork more often than you think. Road 1. I don't go, stay home, sulk. I'm mad all week. I kick the Jeep. I kick the house. I'm short with the AC installer who, let me be clear, did not personally murder my air conditioner. I become a generally unpleasant, unenjoyable person for 7 straight days. And nobody wins. The Jeep still isn't ready. The AC is dead. And now everyone in my orbit is paying interest on my bad attitude. That road was right there. And I'll be honest with you, it was the road I was already halfway down. But then I stopped. And I thought, why not still go? I had a good friend I was headed out with anyways. His name is TK. As some of you maybe have heard me talk to him before. I did an interview with him on this very show, and I'll stick a link somewhere in this episode, whether it's here or in the comments below. And TK offered me the passenger seat in his Jeep. So we tow his rig out and I go. And I had one of the best weeks I've had in years. And here's the part I never saw coming. Because I didn't have my own Jeep, on those rocks, I got to be what we call the spotter. The spotter is the guy who climbs out, stands on top of the boulders, and guides other people's Jeeps over the obstacles that they can't see past. In all my years of doing this, I've never once gotten to be like the official full-time spotter. Sure, I mean, I spot guys here and there, or like the guy directly behind me, but never the full-time spotter. Because I always had my own Jeep to drive. But this year, I didn't. So I stood up on those rocks, and I guided rig after rig over the hard stuff. I watched people win victories they didn't think they had in them. I watched Jeeps do things their owners swore they couldn't do. And then they'd crest the obstacle, pull up next to where I was standing, and give me this big fist bump, grinning ear to ear, fired up, because they just did the thing. It was one of the most fulfilling trips I've ever taken. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. I still want to bring my Jeep next time, and I've got another event in about 2 weeks. I'm not telling you to go break your own air conditioner and call it growth. I'm just telling you what's actually available to you on the other side of a flat. So here's what to do with this. I'm going to give you 3 things, and they are not complicated to do at all. The first one is accept the quota before the flat. Decide today, while nothing's on fire, that bad things are coming, and not as a punishment, not as a betrayal, just as a toll for being alive on a real road. And when the flat shows up, you want to already know it had a reservation. 2, when it hits, catch yourself building the case. The second you hear that voice say, this is happening to me on purpose, it's not fair, that's the lie talking. That's the imaginary contract. So name it out loud if you have to. I literally had to hear myself say, my house hates me, before I could laugh and just let the thing go. 3rd, then ask what I think is a better question. Not why is this happening to me, but okay, now what? Because here's what I've learned the hard way. On the far side of almost every flat. There is a passenger seat you didn't know was open and a job to do that you never would have gotten to do if everything had gone according to your original plan. I came to drive and I left having helped dozens of other people over the rocks, and I wouldn't have traded that week for the one that I had planned. When you get lemons, and you will, you've got a quota of them coming, figure out how to make lemonade. So let me tell you what just happened here, because I think you felt it even if you couldn't name it. I believe you walk into an episode like this feeling like life keeps repossessing your good days. One flat tire, one dead air conditioner, one ruined week at a time, like you're always playing defense against a world that's out to get you specifically. And I think if you paid attention, you're walking out with the keys back in your own hand. Not because the flats are going to stop, because mine sure didn't, but because now you know that they were always coming. And you are now deciding ahead of time what they get to cost you. And you've stopped staring at the lemon long enough to notice there's lemonade to be made. You came in a victim of your week, and you are leaving as a person who decides what the week becomes. It's your choice. That's clarity. That's a way through, not a way around, but through. And you don't have to drive it alone. Think clearly and live faithfully, because there are hard things all around us. And the question isn't, will it get to me? But what will I become because of it? Let's navigate this together with grace and grit and come out hopeful. Grace with grit. I'll see you on the next one.